Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you haven't been here yet. We're going to go over some NFL DFS for Thursday night here in a second, but I wanted to make mention that I did make some changes to the channel. I changed the logo, I changed the name. Um, so if you're new and you're seeing old videos that have a different logo and name, that's what that's about. And if you were here already, then you'll clearly see that it's changed. But the reason I did that uh, is to make things hopefully easier for the YouTube algorithm to know where to send my videos and help me grow the channel and get more viewers and everything. I think it will be more simple for the algorithm that way. And originally, I had come up with the famous friendly family favorite fantasy football guy to be funny, and it was fun. I don't know if anyone thought it was funny other than me. It was kind of just a little tongue twister thing. Uh, but anyways, yeah, moving on from that. So that's what you're seeing now. You're going to start seeing the lineup show. I think it's pretty simple. And I might change the logo again and add a little football in there or something, or change the logo up a little bit, but it might end up staying the same. We'll see. But I appreciate you guys watching. And also at the end of this video, I wanted to tell you a little story about a time in the past with DraftKings that I had that was very good and very bad at the same time. But just a little story I'll give you guys um, if you stick with me. So, yeah, let's go ahead and go over this week, though. We got Lamar Jackson, top of the list. If you're playing him at captain, he's going to be 17,700 salary. He is back in this game, it looks like. No injury designation for Thursday's game at Miami. We like to see that. We like to see Lamar Jackson on the field. He is an exciting player. In his matchup this week looks pretty stellar too. So he's averaging 23.8 fantasy points a game. Miami is 23rd against the quarterback. Um, and I guess I should make mention that this game is the Baltimore Ravens at Miami. So I guess I kind of forgot to throw that in there, giving you my little beginning spiel there. But yeah, so we're definitely going to throw Lamar in the lineup. Did not mean to make him the captain, though. I'm not going to make him my captain because he's so expensive. Um, but yeah, he's averaging 23.8 fantasy points a game. Miami's 23rd against the quarterback, 28th against the rush. They are 11th against the pass. Um, but as long as he's healthy, and it looks like he is, and ready to go, Lamar he loves to run the football, and he's really good at it. So I think he's going to be great in this spot. I can't imagine playing this slate without him. Um, but also Devon Achan, he's 7,100 I'm sorry, 17,100 as a captain, but we are not going to play him as the cap. Well, you might. I was actually looking to play him as my captain, uh, but because of the lineup and everything, I'm just gonna have to change it up and honestly go really light at the captain so I can get these heavy duty players in here. He's averaging 19.9 fantasy points a game. The Ravens are 29th against the running back. They are 23rd against the rush, 28th against the pass. I think he's going to be dynamite this week. I really do. I think it's going to be a great game for him. And we are going to play him, but not as captain. Well, I say we, I mean me, guys. I love him actually as captain this week, but I can't see how to work that out salary wise to play all the guys that I want to play and just refuse not to. Derrick Henry, he's only averaging 14.3 fantasy points a game, which is crazy to think of for Derrick Henry. I'm not sure if he's had injuries or something that's held him back, or if they've just been passing so much that he hasn't got the work. He's had really 2 or 3 decent games. One of them was a really good game in week 1, where he had the 33.2 fantasy points. But his matchup this week against Miami is too great not to play. Miami's 28th against the running back, 28th against the rush, and he's Derrick Henry. I cannot imagine playing this game without him either. And we're going to play all 3 of those guys, but we're not going to put, well, again, I'm saying we. I don't know why I keep saying we, guys. I'm playing all 3 of these guys, but I'm not, I am not playing them at captain because they're so expensive. And I'll be honest with you, I would like to play Waddle in this game. I really would, because the Ravens are 30th against the wide receiver and 28th against the pass. However, I am not going to play him in this game. He averages 14.1 fantasy points a game. Last week he got 20.9. And I expect him to do very well in this game. I expect him to be the least scoring person out of Lamar Jackson, Devon Achane, Derrick Henry, and Tua Tagovailoa. I think Tua Tagovailoa is going to outscore Waddle, as he did last week. He had 24.2 fantasy points. He's averaging 14.8 fantasy points a game. The Ravens are 28th against the quarterback. They are 28th against the pass. And I expect him to have a absolutely stellar week. So here we already have guys: Lamar Jackson, Devon Achane, Derrick Henry, and Tua Tagovailoa. That really lowers the salary, and that's why you can see I didn't play any of them at captain. I do like Waddle though. I wish we could get him in there. Zay Flowers is projected to be one of the higher scoring players in this game. I don't see it because Miami is number 1 against the wide receiver position. They're 11th against the pass. I know their defense against the run is terrible, but against the pass, they're pretty decent. So, yeah, I think this is going to be a shootout game. I really do. So, but if you want to go for Zay Flowers, hey, go for it. I'm not going to do that. Not going to play Bateman either. Already looked at the matchup, so I'm not going to look at it again. I like both kickers here, guys. I can definitely see why anyone would play a kicker. The only reason I'm not is for salary. I could see you playing both kickers in this game. Tyler Loop averages 8.7 fantasy points a game. You can see he had a 13-point game last week. Week 2, he had 12. Week 1, he had 13. And Miami's 28th against the kicker. I could see why you would play him for sure. Though I like Riley Patterson, I think, even better here. I don't know. He's had an 11-point game, a 10-point game, 10-point game, 10-point game. He averages 7.1 fantasy points a game. And the Ravens are 30th against the kicker. I like both kickers. I really do. For some reason, I'm favoring Patterson, maybe because of the matchup. But for some reason, when I look at the points, I see this huge gap between week 2 and week 8 where it was just not as high scoring. I guess he had a 9-point game in there. But then I look at Patterson, and it's like every other game is a high score. He's got 11, and then in week 4, 10, and then week 6 he's got 10, and then week 8 he's got another 10. It just seems like every other week, but I guess if you're looking at it that way, then this would be the week he would get less points, and then the following week he would get 10 or something. But yeah, I definitely could see playing him. I really would like to play Mark Andrews. Um, I for some reason I was really liking him this week. Well, I think mainly because, uh, and I kind of have forgot about this, and now I'm remembering. But because of the bad matchup for these wide receivers, I feel like Mark Andrews would be a stellar play this week. I think he'd be great because he only averages 8.2 fantasy points a game, but Miami's 22nd against the tight end. Uh, and if you look at week 3, he had 27.1 fantasy points in week 3 against Detroit. He hasn't forgotten how to play football. I don't know what all these other weeks are. Uh, Maybe one because Lamar's been out, but when Lamar was in, he wasn't doing too much except for week 3. Week 4, he had a decent game with 10 fantasy points. Uh, but yeah, I think this week, because of the matchup for those wide receivers, I think Mark Andrews would be a stellar play. And I really would like to play him, but I don't know that I'm going to because of the stinking salary cap, guys. Um, then you have Malik Washington. He got 13.6 fantasy points last week. 9.5 in week 2. Other than that, he hasn't had super crazy games. But Tyreek Hill is injured. He is out, and the Ravens are 30th against that wide receiver, 28th against the pass. He's in a stellar spot here. I don't know why I keep using the word stellar today, but uh, I guess I am. Yeah, he's in a great spot, and I think because just looking at the depth chart, Waddle is holding down the fort now that Tyreek Hill is gone. But then you're going to have someone else to throw through, and I think it's going to be Malik Washington. Uh, yeah, I don't hmm, I don't know if I see him going to to the number 3 guy much. 9 Westbrook, Ikine, I'm not sure how you pronounce his name, guys. I really don't. I'm trying to remember, but anyways, I don't think they're going to throw to him as much. He's only averaging 1.8 fantasy points a game. How many targets did he get? 3 last week, 4 the week before. But he's not walking away with many fantasy points. So I would think he would get an uptick with Tyreek Hill being out. But I think that Washington's going to get more. Uh, what else do I want to point out down here towards the bottom? Gordon the second, Ollie Gordon the second is going to be or is the number 2 running back for Miami, and I think he could get some points. He got 13.6 in week 8, 10 attempts, and 1 target, which happened to be a touchdown that he caught. So yeah, I could see him getting a decent load this week. Because of salary and everything else, I'm not gonna play him. I don't know if I'd play him even if it wasn't for the salary, but for some reason I'm getting like this feeling to want to play DeAndre Hopkins. I believe it was. I don't know. No, never mind. I thought he had a touchdown last week. I guess it was just a reception. He just had that 1 target. So, yeah, I'm not as intrigued anymore. I don't know why. I thought he had that touchdown last week. He did not have a touchdown last week. Um, the Ravens defense has a great matchup, but they average 1.7 fantasy points a game. That is wretched. That is terrible. They have 4 games with negative points. In week 2, they had 15. It was their highest scoring game. I guess maybe they could hit that 15 this week. I don't trust it. 1.7 a game. I don't trust it at all. I do like Justice Hill a little bit. I could see you playing him. Week 4, he had 28.7 fantasy points. I don't know if Derrick Henry was out that week. Was Derrick Henry out that week? Week 4. Let's just check it real quick. He played in that game, unless he got hurt and then Justice Hill came in. Then Justice Hill just had a really good game. Is what this is looking like. And then Miami's defense, again, that's a great matchup, but they only averaged 4.4 fantasy points a game, and they're playing against Lamar Jackson, who is really wanting a win, I'm sure, in this game. Their team has been struggling. And I think they're really wanting a win here, guys. So, although they did get that win in week 8, so I did make mention of Huntley last week. I thought he would be a good pick, and he wasn't a bad one. I think I actually I played him in a lineup. I think he got 16 fantasy points. Yeah, with that said, we got Tanner Connor, the tight end now, because Darren Waller is out. He's going to be the tight end in Miami. He has not done a whole lot thus far this season, but now that Darren Waller's out, I feel like he could get some more usage. But now that I say that, though, guys, Darren Waller was out at the beginning of the season for a few weeks there, so Julian Hill was the tight end, it looks like then, because he was getting more usage, or maybe they all just kind of did their thing. I'm not sure who was getting the bulk of that workload, but Julian Hill is out now. I do think Julian Hill actually was the number 2. Let's double check, but pretty sure he was. Okay, yeah, he was number 2, and then it's Connor. And then we're going to come down here and take a look real quick at the ex-Bronco, Greg Dulcich. So Greg Dulcich apparently was there for the last game. Doesn't look like he played at all, or at least he must have just been blocking if he did. No targets in that game. However, I do think that he's going to get targets in this game. The Ravens are 19th against the tight end, by the way, just to make mention of that. And I think that he and Connor are going to get usage this week, and probably quite a bit because of Tyreek Hill being gone. That's the main reason I'm thinking that. You also have Cedric Wilson. In week 8, he had 1 target, 1 reception. That was it. Yeah, but I don't know. I think that was the game Tyreek got injured in. I'm not sure when he went out in that game. I just know that he went out. It was week 8. He went out, right? Let's just double checking, guys. It's late night when I'm making this video. I'm tired, but want to make sure. No, it wasn't week 8 at all. He was out in week 4. Has it been that long since he got injured? Wow, that seems crazy. Okay, I guess it was week 4. So yeah, Cedric Wilson does not look that great to me in this game. I don't know why I was thinking that was like a week or 2 ago. Man, time flies. Isaiah Likely, I would think would maybe be worth a pick. It's a showdown, so you guys do what you want. I don't think I'm going to go there. He hasn't done enough this year to make me interested. Same thing with Kohler. But you never know, guys, if they're going to get that 1 target in the end zone. You know. Let's see. Just looking at Walker. He hasn't played since week 5. I will say Ricard. The veteran fullback has been sidelined by a calf injury through the Ravens' first 6 games of the regular season. However, Ricard's availability to practice Wednesday without restriction indicates that he is tracking toward making his 2025 regular season debut Sunday against Chicago. So that was last week. He came back and they did not use him at all, it looks like. But if he came back from injury, maybe they wanted to ease him in. Or maybe they just don't have need of him. I'm thinking it's probably more along the lines of they don't have need of him. But he is somebody I wanted to make mention of that possibly could get some usage here that's cheap to play. And then Eskridge is saying that his injury is nothing, not to worry about it, from my understanding. But you might want to check back in somewhere and make sure. But he's the third running back. I don't think he's going to do a whole lot unless somehow Miami can take a huge lead in this game, which I don't see happening. And with all that said, guys, it's time to wrap this up because it's getting long here. I don't like to make them too long for you guys because I want you to watch them. But I'm going to show you the lineup now that I do like, I think. And there is a couple players like Waddle and Mark Andrews and both kickers that I would love to throw in the lineup, and really would like to throw Mark Andrews in there somehow, but I don't think it's going to work if I'm playing Lamar Jackson, Devon Achane, Derrick Henry, and Tua Tagovailoa. But here's what I'm going to do, and I know this seems crazy probably, and you've heard me say it before, I'm going to say it again. You're probably yelling at your phone or your TV, whatever you're watching this on, for me doing this. But in that top spot, in that captain spot, I am going to put Greg Dulcich. And I'm going to count on him to get a lot of points. And then that will leave me with the ability to play Connor or the Dolphins defense, which I'm not going to do. We already talked about. Not going to play any of the well, okay, he's like, I was going to say I'm not going to play any of the Baltimore receivers. Don't think I'm going to play 9 Westbrook. Or I'm sorry, 9 Westbrook. Nick Westbrook, Ikeen. I don't think I want to play him. Or Isaiah Likely. Anyways, guys, it's late. I apologize. I wanted to get this out earlier, and I didn't, so I'm actually staying up really late to make this video. But yeah, who I am going to play here, for some reason, does not look the same that it did earlier. That's why. Okay, because I have the wrong player in the wrong spot. Dulcich was who I went in the captain spot, and then that would leave me where I could play Hopkins, I could play Justice Hill, I could play Malik Washington, or Gordon even. So this is probably going to be my lineup, guys, and then I'm going to fill it in. I don't know. Should I give away that final spot? Don't know. Don't even know that I know for sure yet who it is, but I definitely have my eyes set on one of these players that I think I'm going to play. Yeah. Anyways, that's just my way of making my lineup so I can fit Lamar Jackson, Devon Achane, Derrick Henry, and Tua Tagovailoa. And then I guess you have to hope that none of these guys outperform the other ones by too much, because then it becomes a thing where you're wishing that you would have had them in your captain spot. But if they all keep it relatively close, I think you should be okay. If that makes any sense. But now to tell you guys the story that I promised to, and I'll try to make it quick. But a few years ago, I was actually making some baseball lineups, which I've actually had more success in baseball at DFS than I have at football. I've had success at football, come in many winning brackets, but never first place. And I'm just being honest with you. I hope that doesn't make you not want to watch my channel. If it does, then it does. But I'm yet to come in first. I will get there, but I'm yet to come in first place for the football, for NFL stuff. But in baseball, I have, and I actually was this one Sunday morning making these two lineups, and I made one that had two really good pitchers, and then the batters were just kind of okay, and then got worse as it went along. Not very good batters. Well, the other lineup was just kind of overall, decent pitchers and decent bat. Everyone was decent. It wasn't like two really expensive pitchers. So, anyways, I make these two lineups, and I decide the one with the two really good pitchers I'm not going to play. I just, for whatever reason, I decided not to do it. I'm just going to do the one. Well, we went to church after that. Came home from church, and I decided, you know what? I'm going to play that lineup, that second lineup, the one with the two really good pitchers and the weaker batters. And I did, but when I made the lineup, it told me that contest was full, and I had to put it in a different contest. So I put it in the other contest, and then we went to a minor league baseball game, and we are watching this game, and I keep looking at my phone, looking at my score, checking my score, and guys, I was nailing it. I was knocking it out of the park, and actually both lineups were doing really well. But the one lineup with the two really good pitchers was doing very well, to the point that I won first place in that contest. But I won $500 in the original contest that it was supposed to be in. Had I made the lineup 2 hours earlier than I did, I would have won $20,000, guys. So basically, I was watching that lineup, and there was actually two people tied for first place, and I had enough points to beat both of them. They had to share the winning prize. I would have taken the full 20,000. And anyways, I ended up winning $500 instead of 20,000 because I made my lineup 2 hours after I originally had made it. And don't make that mistake, guys. I guess that's the moral of that story, but also it shows you that hand making lineups can still win. And I don't know. It might tell you that baseball is easier. I don't know. Basketball I find to be extremely hard, fantasy wise. So if you guys know any secrets there, go ahead and let us all know. But I like football the most. It's my favorite, and it's my favorite sport. But anyways, I'm gonna let you guys go. I just thought I'd share that moment where I won 20,000, but I didn't win 20,000. It felt like I should have. I played the wrong contest. I actually think I had a third contest going on where I made. No, it was the second one. That other second one won $30 as well. So I think I made like $530, but it wasn't the 20,000. So, but anyways, guys, yeah, it's possible. I hope that you have a good game Thursday night. I appreciate you listening. I apologize if I've rambled, but at this moment it is 1:00, is 1:11 in the morning actually. So anyways, thanks guys. I will talk to you next time. Bye.